that all right? Okay, guys, Leos, let's get into this, shall we? We're going to take a little look at, well, because the telephone booth behind me, by the way, shout out to London. I just love how bright this backdrop is, and we have so many things, so many elements in this that are very inspirational to me. So we'll have a fun week of some storytelling. But the telephone booth stands out to me the most because it's front and center. So we're going to take a look at who's trying to send a letter, a message, who wants to contact Leo. It could be a Leo. We have the Strength card. Okay. All I can say is either they're a Leo or this is somebody who's got Leo like all over their mind. 3 of Pentacles. This is somebody who wants to make s'mores with Leo. This is somebody who wants to sit outside by a little fire pit and talk late into the night. This is somebody who wants to be Leo's warmth. They feel better when Leo's in their life. This is somebody who really holds Leo dear, with their heart being so visible. But the Hanged Man is here. They haven't talked to Leo in a long time, maybe. They're wondering, if Leo's coming back. They're wondering maybe if Leo remembers, that, cuddly time as well. We have Empress. We have the Moon. They're worried Leo forgot them. Is this somebody who had like a really great, maybe they met Leo at, I don't know why this is so specific, but like maybe they met Leo on a spring break, summer break. Maybe it was a vacation. Maybe it was a, bonfire or something with friends. It was out in the woods, or it was at the lake or the ocean or something. They might have met in like a group setting. And it was like, oh my God, their heart was really drawn to Leo. I think they were very dazzled. Leo could have amazing hair, by the way. Also really amazing eyes. I don't know if somebody's got kind of like exotic, like cat eyes kind of look to their eyes, but also like a very serene energy. But they think Leo probably doesn't even remember me, but man, they can't stop thinking about Leo. This is somebody that would love a chance to see Leo again, but they don't think Leo probably remembers them. It's interesting because they could have extremely noticeable eyes as well, or they may have spent a considerable amount of time staring at Leo. And they're like, Leo didn't even notice that I was staring at them. 10 of Wands. I don't know that they were very interactive with Leo. I almost think this is somebody who like fell for Leo at some group setting, group gathering, and they haven't yet really even approached Leo, and they're pretty much thinking Leo probably doesn't remember me, but man, if only I were there now, I wouldn't be so shy. I would move toward Leo now if I had that second chance. If only. I don't know if they stayed seated or if they were sitting someplace else, or if they were like physically active. Maybe they were doing something. Maybe they kept themselves really busy. This almost feels like somebody that did not let on that they liked Leo, but I feel like they spent considerable time sitting off in the distance and watching Leo. Emperor. They may wear glasses, or they were wearing sunglasses. I know I wear my sunglasses at night. Love that song. But they may have been watching Leo, but like Leo couldn't tell, or there was some kind of like, okay, Leo didn't notice me. It's almost like night vision goggles though at the same time. Sorry guys, I'm starting to have some asthma flare up again. We have a 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. I almost feel like this was at least a week ago, but they've been thinking about it nonstop. Maybe they're hoping that they'll see Leo again. Maybe this is every Saturday, I hope Leo's in the park. I'm going to look for Leo again. Or every Saturday, if they go down for that bonfire or something on the beach, hopefully this will be like a routine, but they've already missed at least 1 week where Leo wasn't there. I almost feel like this was a seasonal thing. This may not be something that comes back around. Let me just ask, if you had an opportunity to meet Leo, and admittedly they didn't make great use of the opportunity, but they fell hard for Leo is what it looks like. Does Leo know anything do you think? Queen of Cups. I think that they look at Leo as kind of like very nice. Leo definitely like probably looked at this person, made eye contact, said hello, was very warm, very friendly, but in their eyes, Leo is like this um kind of like this untouchable, not fragile exactly, but this cat sculpture is like solid crystal. And there's just something that seems like a little bit aloof, a little bit removed, a little bit like Leo is this sleek, almost like supermodel quality. Like that's how they have put like they put Leo like way out of their league. And yet Leo was very nice to them, but it's like Leo probably has like glossy hair and nice teeth and nice eyes and nice, they look at Leo as somebody like Leo might be like, I'm not any supermodel. I'm a very average person. There's, you know, I've I've got my, crooked tooth and I've got my, like frizzy hair and I don't know what the heck they're doing saying that I'm oh so perfect. Look, it's all in how somebody was wowed by Leo. Lots of times, when someone is dazzled by another person, and Leo might just be like, look, I'm a very normal person. That is not how they see Leo. And it's rather sweet that they see Leo in such a spectacular way. So I hope Leo can just take the lovely compliment. Even if Leo's like, I'm just a person, it really feels like they have put Leo out of their league though. But they think Leo was really nice to them. But they also think Leo was like very cool while being very, sweet, very nice, very friendly, but not necessarily somebody that they spend a whole lot of time with. Do they have another way to access Leo? Because this is about the person who wishes that they could send a message or the person that wants to send a message. We have a 9 of Cups. They might be saying, yeah, if I could get some liquid courage, I could talk to some mutual friends and then I could call up Leo. If I could sit down and, have a little drinky drink, and then maybe a bran muffin. Sorry, there's this big, huge. I thought that was like peanuts, like somebody sitting at a pub, where they have like peanuts and you shell the peanuts. No, that's a huge bag of bran. So that's hilarious that we have sitting here next to a bag of bran. So I don't know if somebody really likes bran muffins or what. Maybe that's part of their name, or a short for something like Brannigan or yeah, something along those lines. Braun, Brian. I don't know. Maybe there's I definitely, the B is mostly what's standing out to me. So maybe Leo's name starts with a B. Maybe their name starts with a B. Maybe those are initials, or maybe those are the initials of a place that they met Leo. I doubt it's a bag of bran muffins. Unless they curiously had like a powerful love for bran muffins. I don't even know why I'm insisting muffins, because it's just a bag of bran. Maybe there was like a conversation about healthy eating, but it's so funny because I said, do you have a way to talk to Leo? Maybe they like sell supplements or something, or like they're into health food, because this could be an elixir, not necessarily like a drinky. Like to me, this looks like like a bar behind him, but let's say it's like a juice bar or a supplement bar or something like that. And it's like, well, I could actually like talk about these products that I represent. That could be my lead in. We have Ace of Cups, and it does say drink me. They are considering, how could I approach Leo? Maybe I could approach Leo by saying, hey, would love to talk to you about X, Y, and Z, the thing that you were passionate about, I was passionate about. That it almost feels like they want to put this into, like, I could talk to Leo maybe under the guise of we share an interest, a hobby, a love of health and wellness. Maybe that is a component of a little conversation that they had. I feel like they're saying I could talk to Leo if I came up with another way to do it. Something that I could interest Leo in. I could share some kind of data with them. I said I'd give them some sample of something that could be really awesome. They do want to insinuate themselves into Leo's life, but they're trying to figure out how to do that. And it just feels like they think that the route to maybe get a chance to talk to Leo again, if it doesn't happen organically, is that they could try to like offer something almost like a gift. The Ace of Cups is one's heart, but I have a hard time thinking that this person has had that much interaction with Leo, unless there is one scenario. It could be that this is somebody who Leo knew long ago, like somebody that they dated long ago. Let's say this was that high school flame, and it's like, oh, we dated when we were 18, 19, and then we parted ways, and it's been 20 years, and now I just bumped into them this summer at a high school reunion thing, and it's like all those feelings have come flooded back to them, and they're like, oh my God, Leo is even more attractive than they ever were. We do have some kind of connection. I mean, they're looking at Leo in all kinds of ways here that's like very respectful. I should have said that before because we have that Emperor, but they're looking at Leo in a very grown-up way. But it's like, how am I even going to see Leo again? They do think that they have a lead-in. There is a way, and that Leo obviously greeted them warmly. So maybe this isn't somebody who's never met Leo. Maybe this is just so long ago. It definitely could be an old flame kind of thing. Or, like I said, two people that met like at a bonfire or something along those lines. And they're like, oh man, we had like a brief little conversation about something. And I know like Leo's interested in certain things, and I could definitely approach them on that topic. Knight of Cups and the Messenger. Well, this bodes very well for this person actually sending the message. Whatever this is, they may actually like want, if it is like a product or something that they want to give to Leo, they may like have a reason to try, coming by once or twice to physically give Leo something. You notice that this is like very old school. This is a pamphlet. This is paper. This is, an old school snail mail written letter. They're not just going to mail it. They're not just going to text. They're really hoping to set up like a sit down conversation. But I feel like they have like multiple, like they'll make multiple attempts to show up and be like, hey, is Leo here? I promised him I'd drop this off. This could be somebody who's like, really going to put in some effort to try to see Leo again. Will you let Leo know that I stopped by? When's a good time to bring this back by? I wanted to make sure that I'm able to, give this to them and convey this to them. But really, it's an ulterior motive. This is not just somebody trying to do business, right? This is somebody who would very much love to sit down and just hear all about Leo's life one-on-one. Maybe that bonfire scenario, that group setting was not the right place to like really do a huge catch-up session, but this person really wants to sit down and catch up. How have you been? Or, let me learn more about you. I want to know about you, Leo. Their ears are really big here. It's like, I would love to hear everything that you've got to say. It could be that even if they think that they're being a little bit like, let me go through the proper channels. Let me approach, make sure that I get this message to Leo person to person. It could also, though, be that other people are like, oh my God, they're smitten with Leo. And like, we can't tell, because this is like a bellhop or a doorman who's like, oh my God, you again. No, Leo's still not here. You can leave it here. It'll get to Leo. I don't think they're going to do that. Somebody who really, really, really wants to find an excuse to talk to Leo and then set up a date to really sit down and have a one-on-one conversation with Leo. So this is somebody trying to date Leo in this story. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.